All right, about a month away from deciding who will be the next governor of the great state of Nebraska, and Pete Ricketts, of course, is the Republican candidate. He joins us now. Pete, good to see you. Thanks for coming out.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
All right, we have asked our viewers for some questions that they would have for you, Mr. Ricketts. So let's start with our first one.
And please call me Pete.
Okay, sounds good, Pete. Your opponent says you want to raise taxes for the middle class and lower them for the rich. Is this true? If not, explain a little bit.
Absolutely not. My opponent's making that up, and all the things that your viewers are seeing on advertisements, whether it's in their newspaper or on TV, are just simply not true. The absolutely number one priority for me is property tax relief, because that's what voters across Nebraska have told me, that they want a property tax relief. So I put out a plan for how to do that. It calls for putting more money in the property tax credit relief fund, taking valuations on ag land down from 75% to 65%, putting a cap on those valuations, and then also importantly, ending the unfunded mandates that the state pushes down to counties and school districts, which put further burden on property taxes. So that's my top priority.
Okay, there's been some other talk, and it brings us to our next question. There's been some talk about consolidation. First of all, in counties, from 93 counties to 20 counties. I've seen this a few times. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to consolidate, shrink the number of counties?
No, absolutely not. I don't support consolidation.
Okay. Do you support consolidation of schools? They've talked about that, one school per county.
No, absolutely not. Again, that's stuff my opponent's making up. What I do support, though, is local control.
Okay.
For instance, you think about our system of NRDs when it comes to water issues. We've got a great system that allows for local control. In fact, I was visiting with the lower Republican NRD today to talk about those issues. I believe people that are closest to the problems will have the best solutions, and so that's what I want to do, is work with people who are on the front lines dealing with these problems to help address some of these issues.
You can see where the consolidation might work in some of these smaller counties where frankly, there's not a lot of people, and where they might want to consolidate schools yet a little bit more.
Well, again, I believe in local control, and so what I want to do is work with folks who are closest to the problems to help develop those solutions.
Okay, let's talk a little about social issues here. We had a question on gay marriage. Where do you stand on gay marriage in the state of Nebraska? What do you think?
I believe marriage is between a man and a woman, and so do the voters in Nebraska. We put that in our Constitution, and I'll defend our Constitution against anybody who wants to change it. Okay,
and have you had any pushback on that at all, Pete? A lot of folks have changed their thinking on that, or where do you stand?
Certainly some people have talked to me about the other side of the issue, but again, the voters in Nebraska were very clear when we put this in our Constitution, and I believe in our Constitution. I'm going to defend it.
Okay, where do you stand about child refugees from Latin America? Can the state of Nebraska take care of these kids? You've read these stories. These are sad stories about children who live in deplorable conditions in, let's say, Nicaragua or wherever. They come across the border here. They seek a safe haven here. What are your thoughts with these children? What do we do with them?
Well, I think the parents have endangered them by putting them on trains coming to our borders. And our president has caused this. When he decided to unilaterally defer action on minors and say we weren't going to deport them, what the families in Central America heard was, send your children here. And what we should do right now is expedite this as quickly as possible. But even in our child welfare system, we want to keep children in their homes. We should try and help these kids as quickly as possible be returned back to their families in Central America, because that's where they ought to be.
Pete, I'm afraid we could talk to you for about a half hour to an hour, but they're giving me the wrap sign, my friends, so I'm sorry about that. It's good.
Well, I can talk about these things longer.
I'll bet you could. All right, good luck to you. Thanks for coming out.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, and we'll be right back.